What we're talking about has been such a part of my life, for 25 years. It's a story I've been dying to tell people, so the opportunity to share it is really meaningful to me, too. My interest in medicine and science started in high school. I'm not sure why I was drawn to it, but I was. For better or for worse, I was also drawn to music as well. My father very much encouraged me to go into medicine and science, and of course I enrolled in university studying music, which I did for 6 years. Tried to make a living as a musician, not very well. And then eventually I said, what am I doing? I went back, took pre-med courses, and started medical school at 31. And I was, during medical school, very much drawn to research. In fact, I thought I was going to be really a basic science researcher. And then later in medical school, when I was exposed to clinical medicine and patients, I was completely drawn to that and then made a career combining the two, research and clinical care. I was particularly drawn to the field of endocrinology because, to me, the complexity of the physiology, the whole organism physiology was really fascinating, and ended up accidentally drawn to the field of calcium and parathyroid biology. I was a trainee here at the NIH. I was a first-year endocrine fellow on the wards, taking care of patients. And we had admitted that week to the ward a patient with parathyroid cancer. I'd never seen parathyroid cancer before. I was quite interested in it. The patient showed up. He was late-stage parathyroid cancer. His blood calcium was tremendously high, hypercalcemic. He was obtunded, couldn't think straight. And it really was a case where there was no treatment for him. He was destined to die from this. And I heard about that there was a little company that had a new drug, a new molecule that could potentially treat this patient. It was an agonist of the calcium sensing receptor, a so-called calcimimetic. The pharmaceutical company was NPS Pharmaceutical Companies in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mike came to my office in 1995.
This was pre-internet. I called long-distance information, ended up eventually talking to Ed Nemeth.
The drug was still in clinical development at that time, but it had passed a phase 1 study, so it had safety.
Ed had basically discovered the calcium sensing receptor.
We did not know if it had any efficacy yet, so he was able to study the drug on a compassionate use basis.
This was the first clinical use of this drug and was here at the NIH Clinical Center.
This patient was essentially unconscious, and after 1 day of treatment with this drug, he woke up and walked out of the NIH hospital 3 days later and went back to work.
His blood calcium came down, he woke up, he was functioning, and we treated this patient with this drug for another 5 years. He went back to work, he was functioning well. He did quite well. It literally saved his life, and I was hooked. And it's really a tremendous win-win-win situation, and the biggest winner, I think, is the patient. And it's really nice to be able to do this.